Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. And I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is just a tool. It is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. We're starting off with the Jack of Clubs here, okay? We're doing a palmistry read, okay? And so the first palmistry card we have here is the Jack of Clubs here. Okay. All right. It says, Jack of Clubs is the palmistry of a person who is good at dealing with others and can realize his ideas. Okay. A person who is good at dealing with others and can realize their ideas. So you can look at that palm there and study the line there. So this represents a person who is good at recognizing the ideas of others, meaning they're able to adapt and basically have an understanding, not totally agree, but have an understanding of where a person is coming from personally, energetically, spiritually, emotionally. A person, a good example of that would be maybe someone who gets along well with others who are from different ethnicity backgrounds, different cultural or religious beliefs, different spiritual practices or beliefs. This energy, is the energy of someone, who knows how to adapt. And when I say adapt, I'm not talking about be in agreement with everything a person is doing, but has an understanding and an understanding of who a person is and why they present themselves or are connected to their particular belief system. Okay. Yes, and so you could be someone who is known to be adaptable. Maybe you have received compliments about this. This could be at work as well. Maybe your supervisor or manager, I need you to work with so-and-so because you get along well with people. You're a people person. You may have received these compliments, on your job, in your family, at church, in a community, a friend group. People could know you for this. You're not someone to judge others. You are someone, you're okay with allowing people to be themselves. You have an understanding that we're supposed to be different and you don't pass judgment. And so this is something that people see about you. You don't become overly, how can I say this? You don't become overly extended or attached to the life choices of people outside of you, which is beautiful. Okay. So hello to you. Hello to you. Okay. You're not someone to be in a debate about different cultural beliefs or religious practices. If maybe your neighbor or your coworker is maybe connected or invested in a belief system that you're not in agreement with, you're the type of person like, so how you doing? You okay? You come to work tomorrow? You could care less. You're like, that's none of my business. They have freedom of choice. And who am I to waste my time judging? I got stuff to go do. Okay. So yeah, so you could be complimented for this collective. If this is not your energy, this could be someone You may know someone that is like this, that gets along well with I'm hearing a plethora of people. They're just able to adapt to many different kinds of energies. Doesn't matter what their race is, what their religious or cultural beliefs is. Doesn't matter whether they're Catholics or Apostolic or Baptist. It just does not matter. Jehovah Witness does not, Muslim, or it does not matter. They know how to be respectable. You know how to respect people. You have no judgment, and people love you for this. You could be someone that has some kind of business or brand where you speak to people. You could be a life coach. You could be a counselor. You could be a therapist as well. Maybe part of your career is you have to be able to cope and deal with different personalities as well. Because you're very good, whoever you are, and people are comfortable with you. And also the youth is comfortable with you. And you could be someone like, look, I'm not even, I don't even have any children, but people may refer to you, like, this is my aunt, this is my uncle, you have that parental energy, that caring, nurturing energy. And so this energy here, Spirit is saying, people come to you wanting to confide in you with the Ten of Wands. They feel like they can be themselves. They can let loose around you with the Ten of Wands. She's coming from the top of this hill with all this luggage in these bags, but she feels, I'm on my way to the collective. When I get there, I can talk, I can relax. It ain't gonna be no judgment. Whew, that kind of energy. So I'm picking up heavily. You work with the community, a youth or organization. You work with some kind of brand or organization. Yeah, you could be a psychiatrist, a life coach. You could be a minister or something. Maybe a boys and girls club. Yeah, but people trust you. You're like a safe place, a safe place and space to communicate. Yes, with the Emperor here, you're a leader. You're a leader. You're well respected. You know how to play the game. As you see the Emperor holding the chess piece, you're not very much a chatty patty. That's another thing about you. Very professional, but you know how to listen. You know how to listen. People love this about you. You don't judge them. You don't listen to respond. That kind of energy. You listen because you understand that this is someone speaking who really needs just a listening ear right now. They don't need your judgment. They know about the mistakes they made. They don't want to hear see in the Bible said, and you should have did this 5 years ago, and why you have all them kids. You're not doing that Bible thumping, that fear mongering energy, passing judgment, projection. You just don't do it. And so you will be leaving a legacy. I'm not saying anything's going to happen to you, but whomever you are, you'll be leaving a legacy behind because of who you are. You're very well respected and so loved. You're loved beyond what you know. You are loved beyond, you are like people's lifesaver. Okay. You can have people coming to you that you feed. Maybe you give clothes to the homeless. You're one of them people. You have clothes in your trunk. You're passing out food. You're passing out bottles of water. You're always giving back, but you're not doing it for clout. You're not doing it to look some kind of way. This is who you are. This is just who you are. And even if you're someone, you may have went to school, to get your degree, to be a counselor or a psychiatrist. You may not. You just may be that one in the neighborhood, in the community, in the church, in the family that is well trusted and respected. And you're like a safe space, and you're always giving back, feeding people, clothing people, counseling people. Okay, so yeah, this is part of your purpose. It's not a burden to you. Okay, this isn't a situation where I'm about to pick up the cards and they let me know this is your purpose. You love doing this. You may have had people even ask you, don't you get tired? Maybe you have people asking you that. Don't you get tired? Don't you want an off day? And you're like, no, you don't get tired. You don't. You don't get tired. This is part of your walk with the Queen of Cups. So you're very spiritually inclined and in tune. This is part of your purpose here. And when it's part of your purpose, it doesn't feel like work. And so what looks like it could be tiresome to other people, it looks like you're doing a lot. It doesn't to you. It doesn't. The things you do feels just like this. So other people don't understand, and the Spirit is saying it's not for them to understand, but that's what it is. It's not for them. This is your purpose. It isn't work. This is what you love to do. Okay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And with the Knight of Swords energy here, this depiction of this person running to this back, you could also be someone. How can I say this? Oh, this reading is getting deep. You could also be someone, collective, and you may not be aware, who have stopped a lot of people from exiting, from ending things. I'll put it like that. And you may not even be aware of this, that you have saved a lot of people from really giving up. And you're like, I'm just doing my job. No, you're doing more than your job. You're very appreciated. And so your ancestors want you to know to keep going. They support you. You're protected. And, oh, you're respected anyway. It's natural, whomever you are. You know, you're that person. You pull up to work and they see you. You know, hey, Miss So and So. Hey, collective. You need some help. If your arms or your hands are full, you probably got people coming from everywhere to help you. They love you that much. They love to see you. They love to see you coming. You know, you're that person that has a good scripture or something inspirational or a positive affirmation, and people need those things. And even though it's just words, and some people say it's nothing, words can save people's lives. And I'm picking up, you have saved some lives. You have saved some people's lives, collective. You have really done, and you have no idea. And you're so appreciated. You're so appreciated. My. You're so appreciated. And you're so celebrated and honored in other dimensions and other realms. You're so appreciated. When you transition from here, you're not going anywhere. That's not what I'm saying. Your legacy, your name, your brand will carry on. It will carry on. People will know who you are. If you have something on social media, people will know who you are. You will be in people's personal archives. When they hear your name, they will know who the collective is. This is a very special reading for a very special person. And you could be someone to say, I'm just, you're very humble. You're very grateful. You're not arrogant. You're very beautiful as well. Very pretty, very handsome. Um, you could say, you could be feeling like, well, I'm just a person. I'm just no. You're magical, you're empowered, you're respected, you're protected, you're very smart, you're very wise, and you are very necessary. You are very necessary. So maybe you've been thinking about writing a book, something about writing a book. They're saying to go ahead and write that book. They got free publishing apps. Go ahead and write that book. You have some ideas. Go ahead and get them off the ground. Yeah, beautiful energy. Woo. I didn't know the reading was going here, but I never know. I can't tell spirit which way to go. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So you could be also interested with the Seven of Wands. And as I'm looking at this beautiful lady in the spirit here, which is protection, as these wands are trying to poke and pry, you could be interested in also teaching some kind of class to show people how to maybe cleanse their energy, practice spiritual hygiene or something. Maybe you want to teach meditation. Maybe you want to teach breath work, how to breathe. There's a lot can be done just from knowing how to properly breathe. Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't know how to properly breathe. Facts. True story. Yeah. It's nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of us don't know how to properly breathe. And you could be, I'm getting this with this card, you could be either, wanting to write a book. It's been in the back of your mind, or you may have a rough draft somewhere that you just have not uploaded, okay? Um, mm, or sent off to publishing, but you could be interested in having some kind of retreat, some kind of class you want to teach to show people how to uh, tap into center alignment meditation practice, something like that. Or you want to have some kind of retreat, okay? Take your time, but they're saying whatever it is you want to do, you are supported. You're very necessary. You're very necessary. Yeah, I see somebody pulling up for work and people just loving you. Maybe you work with children, teenagers. You need help? You need help? I'll help you. How you doing? Giving you hugs, and you're giving them hugs, and you're somebody who you might be passing out sandwiches one minute, then you go to work, then you get off work, then you might go help pass out some clothes, and you might go somewhere else and counsel somebody. You're one of them people. You're just always giving back. Oh, but it's not work to you. It is not work to you. With judgment here, you accept your purpose. You have not been in resistance. You are grateful and thankful to be in your purpose. You are grateful to fulfill your duties. Very humbling energy. Very, just a lot of gratitude. A lot of gratitude. Now I'm hearing simple things. So you're also someone, you're very pleased with the simple things. You're not materialistic. You understand that money gives you options, but you're not high strong on materialism. I'll say that you're not high strong on it. Some people actually feel that a brand, has some kind of effect on them, but you're not high strong on materialism. You are an earth angel, constantly working your magic. Look at you. Woohoo! I did it again. I saved some more lives. Woohoo! You're working with the divine. God hired you. You're here on your mission, baby. Ooh wee, ooh wee. And that's why you're constantly being supported and blessed repeatedly, repeatedly. You're very abundant, but you don't brag. You don't boast. You don't brag, you don't boast. You just be moving and grooving. And oh, now I'm blessings out the air. And I'm hearing blessings coming out the air. Okay, so you could be one of those people where people contact you to give you things. Whether this is financial donations, I got a $10,000 check, come pick it up. I got some clothes, I got some food, I got a car I want to donate. That kind of energy. You're one of those people. So maybe you have some kind of foundation, or you would like to start a foundation. Okay, you have a lot going on. Beautiful things. Okay, beautiful. Whew. Whew. So we have the chariot energy here. And with this chariot energy here, as you see this person at the top of this card here, being at the top and not being down here, to tame these horses as they move forward, with the balance and the duality of life and all that it brings for people to experience, for all of us. You've been there, done that in your life, as I heard, I'm hearing you've been there and done that in your life. You've been through a lot of hardships. You could be someone who experienced being homeless before. You could be someone who experienced being unemployed, the loss of a lot of loved ones, being, how can I say this? Isolated from people, trying to protect yourself or trying to protect your children or your child. You could be someone who's been through a lot. Maybe you've been in relationships also romantically that were unhealthy. I'm hearing that you've been your life is like a movie. But when people see you, you don't appear that way. You stay in your energy. You stay in your aura. You stay peaceful. You stay grateful. You don't look like what you've been through at all. And so when people meet you, they're very shocked. So that could be the book that you want to write. Okay. Mm-hmm. But now I'm getting it again that it's already written. You just haven't uploaded it, or you just haven't sent it, emailed it to somebody or something like that to look it over. Okay, so this book is in the works. It's in the works. It's coming. So all these experiences that you have had has given you a different viewpoint. This person isn't sitting here. They're sitting higher than the two horses that are in front of them. Now, these horses, their eye point, their level of vision is different from this person up here. So those experiences that you have had has put you and allowed you to be in motion spiritually and emotionally to do the healing work and to surrender. And now you have a different viewpoint and focus of life. Now you are spiritually guided and you are balanced in your path and you are supported. Okay. And so these two horses here in this read is representing you harnessing both the light and the dark and moving forward gracefully and being successful. That's why that Ace of Pentacles is here. You're being supported and protected throughout your mission, okay? And you could be a parental figure. You could even be a single parent, I'm picking up, okay? Maybe you have someone you're dating, or you could be a single parent, okay? But you're doing it, you're holding it down, okay? You're very pleased and happy with the simple things. Okay. Beautiful. Your experiences have showed you a whole different perception of life. You have a whole different perception of how you see people, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself. You have a whole different perception of being mindful, not to judge. We started the beginning of the reading off with this. You are not someone to judge, and that's what people like about you. You are a safe space. You know that it is a waste of time to get into debates and debacles over who was here first and who's more important. What matters is if you are in your purpose. What kind of karmic debt are you clearing? Do you know who you are? Who are you helping today? Or what are you doing that is going to help you move forward tomorrow? Okay? You're not allowing the minor things in life to distract and derail you from priority. You're not allowing these things to intercept you. Yes, yes, you are an earth angel. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Walking in the flesh. People, they want to talk about it. They want to quote scriptures and, they want to talk about it. But when they are in the presence of an angel, when they are in the presence of a divine one, someone is very spiritually inclined and in tune, are they really able to recognize who they are in front of? People talk about it. Do they really know who they are around with the wheel here? You are constantly helping people turn the wheel in their lives. You are a healer. You are an earth angel. You are here to heal and assist and enlighten people. And you're doing this by being the person that you are. You do a lot of giving back. And it does not matter whether you went to school and got your degree, or this could be just something innately your abilities, your natural, original abilities that you were born with, your gifts are open and heightened at this point in your life. Whatever experience that you went through, those hardships opened you up to your gifts. They allowed you to tap into your gifts. So you could be someone who've been through some things that maybe people thought you wouldn't overcome. But instead, you are the success story. You could have been that person, that family member who they call the drunk, or the smoker, or the party person, or and it turns out you are the success story of your family. You are the one who's turning over a leaf. It's not that you're competing to compare, but you're surprising many that you did not allow your circumstances to succumb you. You are rising above. And that's why, you are gifted with more than enough love. You've been through a lot, but you didn't let it get you down. This is an overflow. That's why that liquid is coming out of this bowl here. And it's right in the space of the heart chakra, because you are in alignment. You have to be in alignment to be a leader, to be an emperor. This takes work to get to this status. Someone who is a leader, someone who is well respected, someone who is being celebrated. It takes work to get to this status. This isn't someone who's sitting on their hands playing video games all day. This isn't someone who's laying down saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. This is someone who gets up and shows up no matter what it's feeling like, or what's going on. When it's time to do the work, or the divine lets you know that there is someone coming your way that needs your assistance. And this is not you working to burn yourself out. You're doing this with proper balance as well. And I mentioned that when I had the chariot card. I said you're doing this with proper balance. With the white and the black horse here. In this read, the chariot represents this card. I know what it means, but in this read collective, it's representing you harnessing the light in the dark. And you have being able to surrender, do your healing process. You're continuously healing, and it has taught you to have a different perception and perspective of yourself and people around you in the world that you live in. And that's why the Ace of Pentacles is here. This is how the favor and opportunity arrives, when you no longer hold resentment, but when you surrender it and you choose to do the healing process, because you're not going to self-inflict stagnation onto yourself. Why do that? There's no reason to do that. When the divine is supporting you and your ancestors are showing you that you are protected, there is nothing that people can do to stop your journey or intercept what is written in the stars for you. This is part of your purpose. This is a very special read. You're either in your community, you do this, you're a teacher, you do this in your church, you do this in your family, you do this for the people, you do this for God. This is part of this is you. This is original. This is an original, and you live a life of financial comfort, but you do not boast, you do not brag. Those things don't even matter to you. And because they don't matter, that's why you're constantly being blessed. That's why you're constantly being honored. Like I said, you can have people calling you, giving you donations, financial donations, housing donations. I'm picking up somebody who wants to donate cars. People want to give to you. You're magnetizing the right energy because you're someone doing the work. This is not make believe. This is someone's real story. That's what someone who needs to hear. This is someone's real story. When you're really doing the work, the evidence will show up in your life, in your bank account, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, in your aura. When you are doing the work, people can see it. They can feel it. And they feel it off of you, and they love it, baby. They love it. You're taking people out of these restraints. You're helping them see clearly. You see the image in the mirror? This is not who this person is. You're helping people see clearly the truth. You're helping people regain their strength. You're assisting people rebuilding their lives. You could be working with people who are coming out of rehab as well. Different kinds of rehab. Okay? There's different kinds. Ooh, beautiful. 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 You're always giving back. And the divine and the universe will always give back to you because that's how you operate. That's how you operate. It's all about love. It's all about love. People come to you in shaky situations, very turbulent situations, and you are the one to help them get to calmer waters. You're that one. You're that one. This is you. You're helping people come out of this energy. You're helping people come out of this energy. This could be relationships where, they were being mishandled, mistreated. This could be people who had addictions, different vices, people fighting sobriety, people homeless. This could be all kinds of things, different ages, different ethnicities. I'm being all kinds of people. You work with a variety. You're very good at what you do. You are very necessary, whoever you are, and just continue to be gentle on yourself. But you know what? God's plan. God got you. God got you, baby. You know it. Look at that. Look at the confidence here. Look at the trust in spirit. Look at that. There's a wide gap. This is a sword. She has no shoes on. She's on her tippy toes with one hand. Just look at that for a minute. The other one in the air, receiving the enlightenment, receiving the downloads, and the book is in the other. Now that's balance. That's confidence. This is faith. Okay? Beautiful. This concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good, man.